This mid-handicap golfer bought a new driver over Christmas and he is absolutely loving it. But obviously what we want to do today is prove, is it the best driver that he could have got? Is it the best price he could have got? £199 he paid for this driver, but I've got a driver from 2012 which we have seen on the channel, but how would it perform in the hands of a mid-handicap golfer? Against not the latest driver from PXG, but only a year old. So how will it compare? How will it stand up for numbers wise? That's what we want to see. So obviously with drivers, we know there has been a lot of advancements. We know we now have the variable thickness face. We know that they've tested drivers with everyday golfers to get obviously a lot more sweet spots, because we know we don't hit the centre of the face a lot, or most of the time, just like myself, but we can still get the ball out there to a good distance. Just like that, we know how it's going to react. That's a toe strike for me, that's not the best shot, and that's still gone 240 yards carry. Yes, this is a regular shaft, yes, this is mid-handicap Dave's driver, but you can see there, not the best strike, but I'm still getting away with it. There, I'd still be able to have a reasonable shot into most holes, but how will it compare to the R11 of 2012? We know that was a very popular driver in that year. We know the likes of Sergio Garcia used it, and we had a lot of good comments from this video that we did out on the golf course, or I did out on the golf course at Woolly Par. But we want to get it in the hands of a mid-handicapper. I lost a little bit of distance when it came to shaping the shot, so my normal shot, a little bit of a fade. I did start to lose maybe 10-15 yards in comparison to the QI10. So very interesting to see there with the latest driver that yes, an off-centered hit still did go a little bit further than a pretty well struck one with the R11, but when I gave it everything, when I went after a couple of shots, they did go pretty much the same distance. So if I hit it in the middle, am I getting pretty much the same distance? I want to see that from a mid-handicapper, swinging at around about 90 miles an hour, which is again probably the average swing speed for your everyday golfer. But also with Dave, he doesn't always hit the centre of the face, so let's start to see how it affects his distance with his new driver, because the R11 second-hand golf clubs for cash is coming in at under £90. So yes, it is second-hand, it does have a nice regular shaft in there, 55 grams, which is perfect for Dave, but again, cheaper than this. So if you're just getting into golf or that is your budget, let's see how it performs. Right, so Dave's going to come in first with his PXG, his 0311XF, so extra forgiving driver that Mrs. Harrison did purchase for him at Christmas. So
thank you very much.
So far, he is enjoying it. So again, a year old, so not too old there, still full of technology. We know they have just brought a new driver out, but that is nicely 200 yards for us there, which is pretty close to Dave's average, as we know. So again, yes, he might get it a little bit further in the summer. We have seen it up at 230, but it is -3 in here today. So Dave maybe not be as loose as he normally would be.
Ooh, left. It's unusual for this club, but still on fairway.
Potentially been a quick left with his previous driver. 176 carry, 191. So let's go one more, Dave.
I don't think I'd have seen that again if it had been the previous driver, Chris.
No. That's that forgiveness there. We have got the lie angle obviously set a little bit flatter with this driver to stop the lefts from Dave.
Ooh.
See there, 176 carry again and 195, so all pretty similar, very mid-handicapperish there. Yeah. We had one pretty much down the middle, one down the right side, one down the left side, but distance front to back very consistent. And is that the difference here when we talk drivers? Obviously behind it, Dave, a different looking driver.
It is, extremely. For once, I've never actually tried to hit one of these before.
Never tried it. This is the first try for Dave of 2011 R11, 2012 R11 driver. So guys, comment below, are you enjoying this series? What do you want to see? Obviously we are going to get out and play 9 holes every single month with clubs from different years. See if it does affect Dave's scoring, or whether it's just dependent on how Dave plays on the day. Maybe it's not the clubs, maybe it is obviously just Dave.
Can't be.
It can't be, Dave.
I wouldn't have spent all that money over all these years on clubs if it was me, would I?
No, you definitely wouldn't have, Dave. But guys, comment below, do you go into the second-hand market? Are you looking more that way? Again, at Golf Clubs for Cash, we saw some great deals. The Stealth 2, just last year's model, was down under £300. So nearly halving in price straight away. So lower ball flight there, 163 carry, 181, so we're already down maybe 10 yards.
Yeah,
Not bad, wasn't the best strike, was it?
It wasn't the best strike, but 10 yards in 12 years, not bad. 11 years, sorry, compared to PXG.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. So, very interesting, guys. Comment below what was the clubs that you thought of at this year, 2012. What would
It was
spring to
lower
mind?
though, wasn't it?
It was. It did come out a little bit lower. Again, same lofts on these, so it's a better ball flight there
Yeah,
from
higher.
Dave. R11. Oh, is it the longest carrying?
Tell you what.
182, going 201. So very similar to your second shot with the PXG, Dave.
Yeah.
Interesting to see these out on the golf course. So we're going to put this with the latest drivers as well with Dave, so we are going to get it against whichever driver he likes the best out of the latest ones we are yet to try. A little bit higher launch in there.
Yeah.
Straight though,
Straight.
170 carry.
I'd often
100
take straight.
182, I mean that's just stopped because of the landing angle and the launch, but very interesting there, Dave. Let's go one more. Let's give, what I want you to do with this one is give it everything. Let's see, confidence-wise, can you hit this as hard as possible? Do you gain or lose more? Because you might hit this off-centred, and this is what a lot of mid-handicappers do. Do try and give it everything.
You knew I'd do that, didn't you?
Well, I did with this driver because it's not obviously as flat as the other one, but straight away there, 190 carry, 210.
Yeah, but it's...
It stayed on the fairway as a rule on the Golf On Simulator. Let's go for your PXG now, let's see. And this is where, guys, we know every kind of golfer, whether you're a low single-figure handicapper golfer, whether you're a 36 handicapper or above, we always get on that tier, we want to give it a little bit more. This is where you need a driver that's fitted for you, that if you do need to do it and you want it, you still get the forgiveness, you still can get your direction, and you can still keep it in play. There we go for Dave. That could be exactly what we expect. Set up to Dave, 190 carry, 213.
Well, on the bright side, she's not wasted the money, has she?
She has not wasted her money. But we can see there from the setting, we've got the PXG setting, which I think is good because a lot of manufacturers and a lot of clubs, when they go for the high handicapper, when they go for a forgiving driver, because Dave's not a high handicapper, he's a mid-handicap golfer, but when they go for the forgiving ones, they often go offset, they often go draw bias, whereas with PXG, you can get it into that PXG setting, which flattens it a little bit. So if you're losing the ball to the right, if we can do that, we can start to keep the face a little bit more open. And you can see there, when Dave went to the older model with the R11, it did turn over. Distance-wise, exactly the same. So obviously, we're still getting that distance, but has technology moved on a little bit with the shaft, not necessarily with the head, and being able to keep Dave a little bit straighter. Guys, very interesting video there. Hopefully you're enjoying this series, and if you are, do hit that subscribe button below. But if you are looking for second-hand golf clubs, please be aware to make sure they are the right length, make sure they are the right lie angle, and in your driver case, make sure you've got a shaft that is going to help you, not hinder you. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again later in the week.